Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles,
I'm Lydia Judy.
I'm Derek Lemaster.
and this is Screen Bloody Movies, the podcast where we review a horror movie each week, go over the horror news, and guys, finally, Secret Admirer is out as of this recording, as of today. Great job, guys. We made it to the finish line. What do you guys think? How you guys feeling?
I had no doubts. I knew we were going to do it.
I'd hope so. You're working on it.
I wasn't sure this day would ever get here.
Yeah. It was a long road. It was a long road from conception in 2018 to now.
Yeah.
It's a long road. But it's out. You can see it on the channel where you're watching this. So watch it, share it, like it, comment on it, send it to all your friends, and have little slasher watch parties. That's what people do, probably. I don't know. I would do it. How about you guys?
Yeah, I definitely have a slasher watch party.
We should do it. We should do it. We should all three just get together and watch our own movie that I've watched 460 times. And then point at it and say, look, there's Derek on the screen.
461. And be like, oh, remember that time that Lydia was back there smiling in the corner?
Yes. We will be doing an episode where we do where we tell behind the scenes stories and talk about the making of that. We'll be looking for that in the next couple weeks. Yeah? Do that one next couple weeks? How are you guys doing today in this beautiful night?
Good.
Pretty good. You know. I'm in my new dungeon.
Yeah.
Can tell by the rafters.
Yes.
You got a new background. What's going on?
Oh, we moved into our new house, and yeah, I'm going to be in the basement, so lots of spooky stuff.
Good. And that's great. Congratulations on finally moving in.
Thank you. It took a while, but hey, what are you going to do?
All good things take time. Except for, like, if you're eating cookies, that takes no time. You just unwrap it. Went to the doctor today, found out I was fat. That's new. So, gotta work on that.
All you had to do was ask me and I would have told you.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You would have said, yeah, you're starting to look like me. Oh! Bark! Shots fired.
Too far, Jamie. Too far.
Bark! Shots fired.
God.
Stupid. I'm gonna add some digital bullets.
I thought we were friends.
We are the best of friends.
All right, fine.
Only best friends could say that kind of stuff to each other.
Exactly. Hey,
or just
I wanted to
rude ass people, and
the record should show.
You know.
Derek called me fat first. I
mean, that is true. I did. I took a cap gun to this fight.
Yeah.
And you brought a shotgun.
That's what happens. You get into war of words with me, buddy.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Like
brought a knife to a gunfight.
So, Lydia, anything new with you? Everything going good?
Pretty good. My dog is terrified of fireworks, and it's that time of the year, so he's over here hiding under the desk, keeping him safe. The scary sounds.
Yep, same. I had Remy, when it stormed earlier too, he was just shaking and sitting on my lap the whole time. And I'd walk to the kitchen to go get a drink, or I'd walk to the bathroom, and he was like just right at my feet. So he followed me everywhere. I was like, poor guy. He was shaking his little tiny ears, trembling.
He does have tiny ears.
Yeah. I was like, buddy, it's okay.
You put a picture. Just put a picture of his tiny ears right here. Just the ears.
I will. Just the ears. I have tons of pictures of Remy. So, guys, we got some horror news to get into.
Uh-oh.
It happened. They canceled it.
They did not cancel it. They did not cancel it. They did not cancel anything. But we
This
do.
show's not worth talking
Listen,
about.
how do you even know I have any Monsters news?
Oh, you
'Cause
got
you
Monsters
paused.
news.
You paused.
For Monsters news! Our good old friend Robbie Z is back with a new, with some new news. It looks like, here, I'll share this with you. A new character has been cast. Butch Patrick, who played Eddie in the original series, has been cast as a character in this, so that's nice. He's cast as Tin Can Man, a robot built for Eddie's science fair.
What? You can't even tell. It's him.
It's going to be his voice. It's going to be his voice as Tin
Okay.
Can Man.
Gotcha. Tin Can Man.
They're like, yeah, we want you in this movie, but you're ugly, so we're gonna put this on.
Not ugly. Here he is. Here's Butch
You
these
don't-
days. There he
Like,
is.
you don't even look like Eddie Munster anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would be really weird if they would have cast him actually as Eddie. He'd been like a 70-year-old man. I'm Eddie. What do you guys think of this news? I mean, it's nice, right? Him like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
I mean, he also cast Marilyn in a role, remember? So he's bringing back the surviving cast members. That's really good. What do you guys think of Tin Can Man himself?
He's special.
He's a cute little robot, right?
He's
Sure.
pretty cute. He's pretty average for a tin can robot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's
They're
you
kinda
know Johnny
typical.
Five,
Right.
but who is, right?
Right.
Because you know the secret to Johnny Five? He's alive. Don't know if you guys
I
knew
love
that.
it. I can't tell you how many times I've said this to Quincy. Hey, loser lips, your mama was a snow blower.
Short Circuit's a great one. I used to love
Dude,
Short Circuit as a
It is
kid.
the best.
And
it has
I used to
Ali
love-
Sheedy in it.
It does. I used to love Short Circuit too, actually, as a kid as well.
I love Short Circuit too. Yeah.
Especially like the end when it's playing that hero song. You know what song I'm talking about?
Hero.
Holding on for a hero to the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my
The
god.
song's so 80s. And just so
That brings back
so-
some memories right
yeah.
there.
so uplifting. All right, guys. Speaking of uplifting, we have news about the new Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel.
Oh, good.
So, new Ghostbusters is releasing on December 2023. We're writing it as quickly as we can. We had the story before we finished Afterlife, and we have been crafting this with as much care as it took to build Afterlife into a worthy sequel. The character of Winston Zeddemore and Zeddemore Industries figures strongly into the future of Ghostbusters. We don't really have a plot synopsis, but we know Winston definitely is back, and I'm sure the other the other two surviving Ghostbusters will appear as well. What are you guys' thoughts on the new Ghostbusters?
Hey, as long as the story's good, keep that going.
Yeah.
Let it live on.
Did you guys see Afterlife?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Quincy and I started that movie, but we were at our parents' house. It was hard for us to really do much. But no, we got like 20 minutes in and we fell asleep. And then, so we still have to watch it. But I will watch it. She actually skipped ahead individually and watched it. So
Did you watch it, Lydia?
I watched it on mute.
Oh, well, that's not the best way to watch movies. It's almost as bad as
Yeah,
watching them in black and
subtitles.
white or color.
did you say you watched it on mute? And that was
Yeah, it was
rude.
subtitles. Well, it was during the Super Bowl. I was kind of watching it. instead
Oh,
of the-
that's right. It was on in the
Yeah.
other room while we were watching the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. That's right.
I'm not much of a
Uh,
sports fan, so it's like I'll
You
just
guys-
watch it on mute.
You guys both have to watch it. I went to the theater and saw it, liked it a lot, and I have it on 4K. I was actually thinking about watching it today, but Did not yet. But yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Next bit of news is we also have some more sequel news. You guys ready for this? It has been announced that the Godzilla vs. Kong sequel will smash into theaters early 2024.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Did you see you saw Godzilla vs. Kong, right, Gary?
Yep.
It was great, right?
It was really good. I love a good Godzilla or King Kong movie, and so the fact that they put them together was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was big and, everything I wanted it to be. So yeah, I was a big fan. You liked it, Lydia? It. Oh dear God.
Did you just leave?
No, she's there.
I'm here.
Pack up
Did
your
you
stuff.
Did you like Godzilla vs. Kong?
I loved it. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool. As
Just a big, fun.
Yeah. Just the imagery alone makes that movie what it is. Just seeing that is so cool.
Yeah. My two favorite standout scenes of that are the fight on the boat, the first time they meet.
That's what I pictured
is
too. Yeah.
Awesome. And the big brawl in the city when they're just squaring off against each other. You see them like standing.
Yeah. Like
toe to
the
toe.
finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And then
badass.
when they join, because Godzilla knocks him down and to prove his dominance. He doesn't kill him. He proved his dominance, that he's the king of the monsters. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. But when they have to team up, it's so cool. Watch them just kick.
Because you're like, all right, now
Godzilla ass. Yeah.
Dude, my mom is so passionate about Godzilla that she refused to watch this movie because she was like, I heard that Godzilla loses or something. So she was like, I can't watch that movie. And I was like, Mom, you need to watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. It's gonna be fine.
Godzilla can never lose. He is the king.
Yeah, I was like, I had to spoil a little bit for her so that she would just watch it, and I'm still not sure if she did.
Dude, I wouldn't know who was gonna. I mean, I figured. I knew that Kong was set up as the hero, and Godzilla was kind of set up as like a villainish, but he wasn't a villain, obviously.
I mean, he's just a big misunderstood guy,
Yeah, Godzilla is the balance of nature. That's what he does.
Yes, amazing. Love it.
Did you guys like King of the Monsters?
I don't think I saw
the one right before it.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Yeah, no, I thought it was great. With
I did too.
Mothra.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Mothra and freaking Rodan was in it. Yeah,
I did watch that one. Yeah, that one
was awesome. Good. Yeah. Best shot of that is at the end when they all bow to him because he's the king.
It was
welcome to our new podcast,
Skull Island. I didn't watch
Skull Island's awesome too.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah. Skull Island's awesome too. That's a good one. Welcome to our new podcast, Monsterverse, where we discuss all things Kong and Godzilla.
Whatever, that kind of fits.
Oh, they're horror movies. Yeah, ish. Yeah. Love them. And then last but not least, Lydia, I think you'll like this news. It is announced that Terrifier 2 is heading to theaters. You guys remember Terrifier, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one with like the weird clown, right?
Art the Clown, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's heading to theaters this fall, and then coming to Screenbox this fall. Supposedly it's even more bloody and crazy than the last one. What are you guys' thoughts? You never seen Terrifier? Did you see Terrifier, Lydia?
I did. I watched Terrifier. We'll have to cover that one someday, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I have some mixed feelings about just how, the plot is so strange. I don't know. It's just like a really weird movie, but I love the design of Art the Clown.
Art is creepy.
Scary. He's the scariest clown maybe ever designed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a pretty scary one.
I would not want to run into him.
No, I also would. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want to run into any clown after midnight. Scary stuff. That's what Lon Chaney said, I do believe. Do believe it was Lon Chaney that said there's nothing scarier than a clown after midnight. Yep, it was Lon Chaney. He said there's nothing funny about a clown at midnight. That's true. Terrifying.
That's amazing.
Yes. The great Lon Chaney. All right, that's all we had for the horror news. Like I said, there wasn't a lot. There were some little bits and nuggets. We have some rumors. I didn't cover it because it's just constant rumors. We don't know enough about Scream, the new Scream yet. But now there's rumors that Neve Campbell might be returning, and has negotiated a bigger part for part 6 or for part 7. These are just things we don't, it's all just kind of up in the air. So until we get something concrete, there's no point discussing it.
But of all the pushback that they got, like, I'm not shocked whatsoever that they're considering this. I'm sure that people complained about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure, too. I'm sure. I think they were afraid that it might not do very well at the box office.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But guys, the reason we're here tonight is to talk about a gem of a film, one that should be in the National Registry of originality, and that is, of course, 1986 film called Critters. Now, let's talk about our experiences with Critters. Let's start with you, Derek, since you picked this. What is your experience with Critters, and how much of this movie did you even remember?
Oddly enough, I remember more about the second one than I do the first one. I mean, we grew up with these movies. They were always on like Channel 4.
Channel 4!
Channel 4, yeah. I mean, or even USA. But no, I mean, they were just, when was the first time I saw this movie? I have absolutely no idea. It was when I was a kid, and I remember the little furry things that were like hedgehogs but had lots of teeth, and it was
little spikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nostalgic. Like I said, I don't remember a lot about this specific one, but like the second one, I remember quite a bit about. But yeah, I mean, it's just a staple of my childhood.
Lydia, what's your experience with the Krites?
So I definitely remember seeing like a marathon on probably Sci-Fi. I'm gonna say
It was Sci-Fi, I guarantee you.
yes, and so I was probably like early teenage years for me, and as soon as I saw these things, I was like in love with them, because you guys know me and creatures.
Mm-hmm.
All right, these guys are literally critters. I was like, yes, the teeth, the eyes, the face, the fur. I'm like all about these guys. So I immediately was in love with them, and I do remember parts of this movie, and we'll get into that, but I didn't remember like the end, or like, I didn't fully remember, but I do remember like scenes of it. So, and I remember some of the other movies too from those marathons. So
yeah, my experience is similar to both of yours, because I too remembered the sequels better than I remembered this one, and I know why. It's because I remember renting each of these on VHS back in the day. From Video Stop. We were Video Stop kids. And Video West was our other place. Love Video West. But we went to, I remember going and looking through movies, and I picked this one because it looks fun and scary. And so I remember the sequels even better, because I probably watched them later. And I think the reason I remember them more is because what you said, Lydia, which is that Sci-Fi marathon. I think I came in at like Critters 3 and was like, oh god, the Critters movies, I forgot about these. And then we'll talk about those when we get there, but Critters 4, not for me. But anyway,
I've never seen Critters 4.
Or now there's a 5th one, Critters, the New Batch, or whatever it's called.
What? I just bought the box set. There better not be.
Well, those are the theatrically released ones, or the direct-to-video ones, at least. The new one was like a web series that aired on Shudder. Or like maybe called a new binge, I think is what it was called, because you just binged all the episodes, something like that. But yeah, same thing. I remembered liking them when I was a kid because I also loved little creatures. They reminded me very much of Gremlins, which this whole movie has a very Gremlins vibe going on with it. Just a little meaner, I
A
guess.
little scarier.
Kind of. But I mean, not really. The Gremlins murdered the fuck out of some people too. You know.
They were fun murders, you know,
Yeah, they were.
like shooting an old lady out of a chair, like a stair lift.
That is a great
That's
murder. That is a
hilarious.
great one. And they also have that amazing bar scene in Gremlins. We did a whole episode on that. Check it out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, let's get into this. What do you guys want to talk about first? I mean,
Real quick, I just want to also preface this. It has easily been 25 years since I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
Oh my
about
gosh.
20 for me. 15 at least. 15 at least.
Yeah.
But I'd say closer to 20 years for me too. So when I watched this, guys, like, there were bits that I remembered, and then there was long sauce, probably what you had with Halloween 2. I was just like, I don't know what the hell, like, I don't remember what's going to happen next. Then there's beats that happen, and I was like, oh, yeah, I do remember this. So, like, I remembered, the bounty hunters, and the big beats, the bounty hunters. I remembered the ending, and I remembered, our main character. But those were basically it. So all the stuff in the critters.
What scene I remembered was like
What's
the
that?
hayloft scene.
Yes. So let's talk about this. We'll just jump around, talk about whatever comes to mind with this one, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because during that, when we first are introduced to the boyfriend character, and he pops on screen, I was like, motherfucking Billy Zane.
Yep. I was
Right?
like, oh, I forgot he was in this movie.
I did too. He popped up. I was like, oh my God, it's Billy Zane with
he's only in it for
ponytail.
a couple minutes, but
With the
With the
ponytail.
ponytail. Yeah.
I was
Driving a
when I
cool
was-
car.
I saw his name in the credits at the beginning, and I was like,
I did too.
Zane? Who's Billy
Yeah.
Zane? I was like trying to.
Well, I knew exactly who he was, but I didn't know who he
As soon as I
played.
saw him, I was like, Billy Zane.
Yeah. Soon I saw his name in the credits. I was like, Billy Zane's in this?
That
And then
name
he
is like
popped up.
such an '80s name.
Yeah, good old William Zane. William Zane himself. Yeah, that cracked me up. I think the cast of this movie is pretty good. I think the
Yeah.
performances are pretty good too, and I think all the people are well cast. I really like the actor that plays the dad. Well, first of all, Dee Wallace, of course, is the mom.
Wallace. Ah,
Dee Wallace from.
she is such a pretty lady.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
she's
Yeah,
amazing.
she's gorgeous. I love how she went from E.T., to The Howling to this,
Yes, and
Just,
so
like,
many
awesome.
more good ones too.
Oh yeah, so many great ones. But yeah,
she's my girl.
So Dee Wallace at this time was married, so her name in the credits says Dee Wallace Stone, and then M. Emmett Walsh plays the dad, and he pops up. M. Emmett Walsh. There's like 4 in a row that just all had 3 names, and I was like, did they just cast 3 named actors? Is Tommy Lee Jones gonna pop up next? It's cracking me up. But M. Emmett Walsh as the dad is great in this too. I love his character a lot.
Yeah, I do think that it was well cast all around. I think all of them played memorable characters. Yeah, I agree with that. I also think that some of the shots in this movie were too good for this movie.
Oh, there's some really,
Yeah.
really good shots in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I
It's
mean?
solid. It's solid.
It is
It's a solid
very
movie,
solid
yeah.
for the movie that it was. And it was also ahead of its time in some regards.
I
Um,
really
Go
like.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope, go for it. I want to hear you guys say.
I really like the tone of the movie, like the
Love the
atmosphere, the atmosphere that it creates. It creates that Amblin-esque vibe, the small town, you know, family, and I like how we're introduced to the characters. I like how we automatically know that Brad and his sister are like kind of at odds, you know, from the beginning, and then we're introduced to Charlie, who is, you know, not all there, and a drunk because he believes in aliens and stuff, but he's like the sweet Lenny, basically, and he's there to like he helps them with work and everything. And the scene where he freaking shoots her with the slingshot
In the butt.
and then Brad takes the blame for it is actually really sweet.
It was. Yeah, and there was there was a small portion there where he forgot why he was in trouble because he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I did do that." And you know, it shows a lot of character.
Well,
and
I think
also go ahead.
Yeah, I really like how they wrote Brad. I think Brad's actually a really well-written little character. I think he's you know, because he's mischievous and fun, but he also has a lot of heart. And you know, when it matters, he really tries to help everybody.
We didn't mention Scott Grimes when we were talking about the cast. I guess we still are talking about the cast, but Scott Grimes is awesome in this. I was so excited to see him in this.
It's Brad. Yeah. Good old Brad himself. Yeah, Scott Grimes. And then we also haven't talked about the best Terrence Mann as Ugg, the bounty hunter. And, of course, Johnny Lightning, or whatever the hell his name is, that he takes a likeness from. Guys, I texted you while I was watching it. As soon as I heard it, the classic song, Power of the Night. Yeah. Power of the Night! I just couldn't. As soon as it popped, I'm watching it, that pops up, and I was like, ah! Like, this is hilarious! Power of the Night! What do you guys think of Power of the Night?
It was great.
Special. It's special, that one.
It's just so funny. Like, it's so funny that they're like looking at like the history of the world of Earth, you know, and they're just like, he stops it on him.
Yeah, because they're trying to find out who to change into, because they're shapeshift. And that's who he picks. He's like, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah.
We'll be that guy.
Yeah, I will be him.
I love how the other one couldn't decide.
That is really funny, and he just keeps switching, you know, his appearance depending on the first one he picks is that like dead fucking deputy, and he's like all messed up, his face is all messed up. So funny.
That actually, so he kind of resembled what in MIB Men in Black.
Oh,
as the guy like kind of degrades over the course of the movie, there was a point where I was like, yeah, he totally looks like the walking corpse from.
Oh, dude, nobody
Earl?
is better than Earl. Vincent D'Onofrio as Earl is one of the all-time greatest performances in movies.
Yes,
for sure.
Love it.
It real means more to me. I'd like to have
that was one of my. Dude, that was really good. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Oh yeah. It's a great one. I love Men in Black too. Yeah, it's a great one. What do you guys think of these bounty hunters? Are good, right? They're fun.
Dude, they're so hilarious. I love when they get in that car and they fucking drive backwards.
Oh yeah, like, they're trying to figure it out.
All the way to they're trying to figure out this technology. Yeah, and they're driving in reverse and they like destroy the church.
Dude, there's so much.
That got me.
Their costume design is terrible, by the way. Their costume design is awful.
You know, it kind of fits the movie.
Yeah, no, it does.
I see where you're coming from.
It's silly, and that's what it was. I was like, as I was watching it, and I was picturing shooting it, because the scene where they walk into the bar, or the bowling alley, and they're all they're in the bowling alley, and they walk in, they're all in their get-ups, right?
Yep.
And everybody's kind of looking at them as they walk in. I pictured myself shooting that scene. I pictured myself being on set and making it and being like, yeah, these costumes are just on point. Like, I know I would have to be like, man, it's a little cliche to have him in goofy ass. Maybe we should put him in like something different, you know? Because I don't know why they always think that space in the future has like thrill. Does everybody in space like? I'm wondering if their costume designers are like the costume designers of professional wrestlers. Because I think that's like
Could be.
they think space is like,
Could be.
you know what? I bet you space people are dressed like professional wrestlers, tassels and shit.
Yeah,
Giant cowboy
spurs.
hats and spurs.
I mean, there's like spurs, like they're like jingling around, like.
That's great. It's great.
I
But
guess if
yeah.
you're a Mandalorian, that would make sense.
Yeah, if you were Mandalorian. So the barn scene that you were talking about, right before that, there was a dinner scene.
Yeah.
And first of all, I wrote down this on my notes. He sends him to bed without supper. That is 100% a horrible punishment. And, you know, a terrible. That's such an old school terrible thing.
It would be if they didn't give in.
Yeah, of course they gave in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when he said that, he's like, you know, and no supper tonight. I was like, but that keeps him alive.
Yeah, that's child abuse. What are you talking
That's
about?
child abuse.
That is,
How about
that's
no-
abuse.
How about no TV and no music, and you have to sit and stare at your wall? That's a punishment.
Yeah.
But
And he does adjust it. You're right. But yeah, I mean, just the modern perspective on some of these 80s movies and like what was just like the general solution to some of their problems. You know, you're going to go to bed with no supper. Okay. That sounds terrible. Now you're just like, I'm going to call CPS on you.
yeah,
He wouldn't have died that night for not eating.
No.
He wouldn't have. No, you're
you
right.
never know. He could have been a hemophiliac, or he could have suffered from like some kind of, he could be diabetic and he needed better sugar. We don't know his history.
That's a good point. Luckily, he was okay.
Yeah,
Did they even
No.
discover diabetes?
of course they did. Wilford Brimley was around back then, man.
It was a joke. I was kidding.
And we all know that he's the one that discovered that disease. Clearly.
Right.
No offense to
invented
people
it.
that actually suffer from this terrible disease.
Hey, my mom is a diabetic. How could you do that?
We all know some diabetics in our lives, you know.
Yep, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, Wilford
Everyone.
Brimley.
Everybody's favorite diabetic.
Not
Yeah,
that we're
we were-
picking favorites. I mean,
Listen,
I
we
love
had a
my mom.
bracket. We had a bracket before this episode, and he won. No, the dinner scene.
Real quick, because you got me sidetracked. Do you guys remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah,
Yes. Oh my
They
god.
should have had a tournament about your favorite diabetes
Diabetics.
celebrity.
I don't
Let's
think
get
they
it
should
on.
Wouldn't
have-
surprise me. Wouldn't surprise
Celebrity
me with that
Deathmatch
show.
was great. It was great. I always loved when Stone Cold showed up and just killed everybody. That was my favorite. Whenever Stone Cold was going to be in the episode, I was in. So you just whoop everybody's ass. I was like, yes, Stone Cold.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a show I have not thought about in a long time.
Me neither. Wasn't Mills Lane the referee?
Yeah, let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Yeah, that's right. So dumb. Anyway, enough with that probably horribly offensive side tangent that we took.
Dang it.
We have editing power.
Yeah, we're usually so PC, but hey, sometimes it happens. So the dinner scene, they're all sitting at the table, and Billy Zane's over there with his ponytail, and he's like eating the food, and she's like squeezing his leg and shit under the table, and it just cracked me up because Dee Wallace knows what's going on, and you know she sees all of it, and then she's like, "Oh, you're supposed to. Why don't you go take me for a drive?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know I was going to do that." She's like, "Come on," and she knows. She's like, "Oh, they're going to go and do the horizontal mamba."
I thought it was polka.
I don't know, Polka. I barely know her.
Oh my God.
But but that scene, I just love it because it's so like a realistic style scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dad's oblivious to this, and he's like, "Did you have the talk with her?" She's like, "Yeah, years ago." Because he's like completely oblivious to the whole thing.
And he's like, years ago.
Yeah. What? But yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Have you guys ever been to dinner with a significant other and you touched their leg under the table,
No.
or had your leg touched under the table?
Man, I
Derek, just say no.
no, I've got stories. I've got a story. I don't know if I should share it. Oh my gosh. And it ended with the most awkward talk in the history of my life.
Tell me. Now you got to tell us.
Okay.
Oh,
We're all about the
shit.
Derek
Here we
awkward.
go. Here we go.
My girlfriend and I were invited over to this family's house in high school, right? And so like they were like uber Christians. Everybody there was super Christian except for me. And if you're a Christian, you know, more power to you. Just don't push that stuff on other people. But anyway, the whole night, like my girlfriend and I were too close for everybody else's comfort. To the point where at one point we were down in the basement, everybody was watching like Pearl Harbor.
You know, one of those Christian films.
Yeah, and you know, might have been slightly fooling around and a non. Anyway, the lady who took us home, when we dropped off my girlfriend, she she had the most awkward talk with me. She was like, "Derek, you guys acted like a couple of horny dogs." I'm trying so hard not to laugh because I'm like, really? Were we that obvious? I was completely oblivious to it. But apparently we made everybody feel uncomfortable.
That's hilarious.
Shame on you.
Yep.
That is too
I
much.
know, you know.
That's great. How
Anyone
about
who
you,
knows
Lydia?
me knows
You ever
that's
have
a
one of
lot
those?
No.
You never had a horny dog moment?
It's just like none that I'm going
I
to
don't
talk about,
think-
guys.
I mean, I guess no. I know.
I remember once with one of my ex-girlfriends sitting on the couch together. We had the blanket pulled over us, and her mom made us do a hand check. Hand check. We'd pull up her hands.
She should have made you take the blanket off.
Well, luckily she didn't.
Well, yeah, none of this hand check stuff.
Yeah.
If I ever walk down in the basement and my daughter and her boyfriend or something, like, blankets off. First off, I'm going to lock my daughter in a closet until she's 25. That's not. I'm not actually going to do that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you in Carrie?
Right.
Oh man. So this leads to that loft scene that you were talking about, Lydia, and you said this is a scene that you remembered. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I don't know why, but I just remember this scene of them just like, I don't know. I really only remember just Billy Zane's character getting attacked. You know,
Yeah.
like I didn't remember all the little details of like their relationship or anything like that. Which seemed like he wasn't as into it as she was.
It seems to me that he likes her, but he's like trying to be respectful.
Yes.
He actually seemed like a respectful guy, even though he's like
Mhm.
you know supposed to be this like New York like D-bag or whatever. He's not. He's actually like polite.
Yeah.
Didn't his
He
license
likes her.
plate
He
say
likes
something?
his parents.
Yeah. His license
Did
plate
it?
said something. I don't remember
It
what
was
it
like
said.
too great or
gosh.
something like that.
No,
Oh,
it was something
gosh.
about driving. You're thinking of Adventures in Babysitting. Too cool.
Too cool.
Yeah.
No, there
Yep,
was
that's Brad.
you know what?
No,
I'm
Brad
gonna
was the
find it
kid's
real
name.
quick.
No, Brad's this kid's name. Brad was the name of the Adventures in
Oh.
Babysitting guy. That's the. Oh
Not
no,
the guy
maybe
with the
you're
license
right.
plate.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, he was like
What
the
is
brother.
his name? Yeah, Brad is the brother. Scott. Scott's his name. It's Scott.
We are going on some tangents tonight.
We are. Too cool. Yeah, because it's Brad and then Daryl, of course.
Wait, I've almost got it because
Yes.
I know it says something. It.
You think?
You think? I always say that.
God, Adventures of Babysitting is great.
Yep, it's too
Yeah.
great.
Too
T2 with
great.
a space, GR8.
Too great.
Too great.
Nice. But anyway,
catch
yeah,
it.
he seems all right.
He is too
And then
great.
he gets critified. When they
Wanna
get
hear a
attacked in the
joke?
basement, is really good. When it's a good.
I
I
love
think this is a good
this.
set piece. A really good set
The
piece.
dad, when the
Yeah.
dad goes down in the basement,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good set piece. Yeah.
The lighting is really what I loved
Mhm.
about this scene. The lighting was so cool.
Yeah, it's spooky and it's
Mhm.
fun, and like he sees it up on the shelf and it's like moving,
The flashlight, yeah.
he goes to like touch it. There is no way in hell
Like,
I would. Would you approach it? You saw some.
no.
I saw a creature. I'd be like,
No.
it's probably a raccoon or something.
So first off, he like defied the logic of horror movies. That he's a badass. The dad is, because
Yeah.
he got attacked twice and survived
Yeah.
to the end.
Yes.
Not only did he survive, but he kind of, by the end of the movie, is no worse for wear. By the
Yeah,
time the movie wraps.
got a bite on his shoulder and his leg, but
Yeah.
no major arteries. He's good.
Yeah.
Blood clotting. He's good.
That is so rare that, like, I fully expected him to die in that first attack.
I did too. Yeah. I
So-
was like, oh, he's a goner.
I
Nope.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't because of the tone of the movie. Like, I was like, there's no way they're going to kill this kid's family. You know, they're just not going to do it. And they didn't, thankfully. I'm glad they didn't. I like that. I like that the whole, you know, because it's like that whimsical kind of thing. But yeah, he's, I mean, I like when the first time we see that the little darts, you know, their little thing shoot out, it hits the stairs, and he's like, ah! They pull him up. I think the whole siege stuff in the house is really good. And it's very similar to Night Skies. You guys know what Night Skies is? So Night Skies is the original version of E.T. It is what they started to develop, and then it turned into E.T. So Night Skies was a script that Spielberg was developing that was going to be about a family on a farmhouse that's attacked by aliens. And it
Really?
yeah, and it was like a more dark horror movie. And then there was a good alien named Buddy. And then they started following that plot thread, and they're like, oh, let's make a movie about the boy and his friend Alien, and that turned into the masterpiece that is E.T.
Wow.
But there's similar beats. So
It
when I
must
was
be
watching
a
it,
farmhouse thing.
yeah,
It must be a farmhouse thing, because, like, I grew up in a farmhouse, and I gotta say, that was my biggest fear was aliens showing up.
yeah.
You were in the middle of nowhere, and you can see the night sky, and you're like, they're here. Like,
You know what?
they're
I think it's because of Back to the Future. You just don't want a DeLorean crashing into your barn.
This was more like Signs for me.
Yeah, Signs. Well, yeah, I guess you were younger, so Signs would be. For us,
I
it'd be
remember.
like,
Oh, we got to talk about Signs someday too.
the bastard's already shape-shifting.
You know
killed
what
my
was, you know what's kind of interesting? It happened. It was one of the very first things that happened in this movie. It is established that they are actually intelligent creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's the way the movie starts out is there's a capture ship
Yeah,
that's approaching a prison.
Yes.
This opening. Go ahead, Derek. This opening is something.
Crazy.
And the critters essentially stage a breakout, and they get like somebody to go back in to like capture them, and they have a crew ready to like take these prisoners, and they ended up stealing a ship, which they know how to fly a ship, which is evidence of intelligence. So they're
Oh
not
well, yeah,
stupid creatures.
and they also talk. They all have their own language.
Yeah,
and
they
everything.
can communicate.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's a great bit in this movie.
they know how
where-
to curse.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when she freaking shoots the one
I
with the
also remember
shotgun.
this.
Yeah, because the best
I
part
remember
is
this.
like, she's like, they said she has weapons, and they're like, who cares? And then she shoots the one and blows him up, and the other one says,
Yes.
fuck, and then rolls
Dude.
away.
That's what I'm talking about, how the tone of this is just slightly darker than some of these
Mhm.
other, like, Gremlins is way more family friendly than that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I remember
great.
seeing that, like, like, for whatever reason, when I was watching this on TV, they, like, bleeped out, like, the creature saying something, but didn't, like, blur out the word. So, like, it just, like, fully said it to me. Like, I was watching it, and I lost my mind. So I definitely remember seeing this, like, when I was young, and it did not blur it out.
That's hilarious.
It's awesome. And that's another reason I just loved this movie, because I was like, that is funny as hell.
Yeah, it's
That they made that decision.
yeah, it's still a family. It's PG-13, so they made it a slightly bit more,
You get
to
one
get away with
F-bomb
that.
in there.
Yep, they could slide in that F-bomb. There's a great bit where one of the critters, when they're like going through their montage, and one of them like sees a little ET plushie and starts trying to
Yes.
talk to him, and he's just like, they're back and forth, and he's like,
He was like,
You know,
who are
"Hi."
you?
yeah, who are you? And he's booping him, boop.
Then he ends up eating his face
He
off.
rips his
Yeah,
head off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like, throwing it around like a dog.
yeah,
I love that scene
so-
where they're all destroying that bedroom.
yeah.
Feathers everywhere. That's cool.
What do you guys think of when Dee Wallace gets shot with the little, pine? Yeah, little spine thing, and she basically like knocks her unconscious,
Yeah,
and she's like loopy for a while. Like the makeup they put on her, that thing looks gnarly. That
Mhm.
wound
Yes.
looks
There's
quite
like a
gnarly.
big swollen
Mountain.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a mountain,
It's very mountainous. Yeah.
mountain on her fucking. So yeah,
That's a scary thing about these critters is like they really are like just good predators, like they have these built-in weapons, which is horrifying. And they got some like power behind those things.
yeah, and then there's the
Mhm.
one that if they eat too much, they grow, which is very, gremlin-esque. But they eat too much, they grow larger, and there's that one that actually grows big.
yeah.
I love it.
That's a cool guy because he's like person
He's
sized.
So scary. Like he's really scary. I was scared for
When
this
he
family.
punches through the wall, and yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Kinda like
when he
Super
comes
Shredder,
when he
but-
comes running, I'm
Yeah.
like, look
Shredder.
out.
Yeah, get out of there. So Charlie, throughout this whole thing, like, here's what's wild to me. Okay, here's what's wild. Charlie is just this minor character. Of course, the one alien morphs into Charlie,
Yes.
the other bounty hunter. So he's Charlie, and then Charlie's following him around. Charlie ends up being like the Burt Gummer of this series. Like he's in all the movies. Brad comes back in the next one, but then it's Charlie for the last two, and it's just wild to me that they're like, yeah, he'll be the main character. Like, sure.
Yeah.
But when that scene where they are at the church is really funny. Bounty hunters when they're at the church,
Oh my gosh.
and he like morphs into like the preacher right in
Yeah.
front of him, and he's like the one woman faints. They like blow up the piano.
Yes. How intense is that? He just looks over and explodes the piano. Everybody
Yeah, and
freaks
to,
out.
and to set this up, so they enter by driving backwards through town, which, by the way, I know somebody who's done that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
me too. I
they
was there.
they crash into the church. Then they get out in this church, and the one guy is like, because he had just copied a dead person. So then he starts to copy the preacher. So he morphs in front of all these people to freak them out.
Yes. Yes. Not just a dead person, but a dead person that everyone there recognizes
Yeah.
as
Exactly.
as a deputy or whatever.
Yeah,
So, what's the body count in this movie? Is it two? Two people died?
I think it might be.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Billy
the
Zane's
deputy-
character.
The deputy and Billy Zane are the two that die, right?
Yeah, if you don't count the cow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when they
Those are people too.
when the bounty hunters arrive, because they, Brad escapes to, basically find help, and he runs into the bounty hunters, and he thinks it's Charlie. He's talking to him and everything. They go
And then
through.
he's like, oh, and then this rock star is here too.
Yeah,
Cool.
Johnny Lightning. Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Who are you guys? This doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
He's like, where are the critters? And so they end up going back to the farmhouse. And what do you guys think of this little bounty hunting destruction scene that occurs next? It's fun
Whenever
stuff,
they
right?
Go back to
When they get to the house and
When he gets to the house.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he just blows up the front door. The family, by the way, could have been right there. They leave the bedroom because that giant one is attacking. D. Wallace is being a badass with a shotgun, blowing up little critters, and then they're on their way down the stairs, and the front door just blows to smithereens, giant
and they
explosion.
Enter. Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat.
What's really fun is how through this time, Ugg starts to really like Brad. He starts to develop a fondness for him, and he saves him at one point, and after when he lifts him up, he lifts him up and then pats him on the back of the head.
His head. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And then they go through, and Brad goes back in to save his cat, and the creepy one's there. Yeah, Chewie, of course. And the big one's there, and
yes, so scary.
So scary. So he ends up escaping, and the big one takes off because, Ugg comes in. And the critters kidnap his sister, Amy, kidnaps her, and is taken off. So Brad, like a little badass, jumps on his bike and goes after
light on.
Yep. He goes after him, and he runs into Charlie. And Brad sneaks into the spaceship before he gets off, wakes her up. They both get out of the spaceship, and he drops his firework that he was going to use to blow up the ship. And, Charlie's like, I've got an idea. And he uses a Molotov cocktail and throws it into the ship before it closes. And then these little bastards, out of spite, go over and blow up their entire farmhouse. Just blow it up, and then they laugh about and then they hear uh-oh, and the spaceship explodes. Then we get this ending, which is super, I love it, but it's super cheesy, and that's why I love it, because it's so cornball. Ugg gives him a communicator, says, call me. And then they take off. He hits the button on his communicator in the daytime when they're looking at everything, and all of the pieces come back together and their house is rebuilt. And good old Chewie's in the mailbox. And everything's hunky-dory, except there's, of course, a couple critter eggs to leave for the sequel, which I don't think actually come back there. I don't. But I mean, is that how? No, I know, but I don't think that's what kicks off the second one. Is it? There's
Yeah, it
actual
is.
eggs, is it?
Yeah.
But it takes place many years later.
Maybe the incubation period
Way longer.
is a while. Yeah,
But they were
but it
But-
is.
sprinkling in
That's
the
what
eggs.
kicks it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so by the way, whenever this house gets reconstructed and it's done, there's absolutely no way I would set foot in this house. It looked like it was going to fall over.
Into the shingles were all like
Yeah, the shingles, man. They're
clearly
like
not
all-
okay.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, it was obviously a demo house that they destroyed
Yeah.
and then just reversed the footage. But
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I
like
was like, yep,
miniature
I'm
or
not going.
something.
I'm not going in
Yep.
there. Not doing it.
I really thought that was a really cool scene though. And it's so like this movie just surprised me so much, especially just like the full there's no like boring parts, you know, like it's one of those. It's like keeps your attention for sure. Man, that house getting put together was so good.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. What do you guys think of that? Like, just that uplifting ending, you know?
I
It's
love
fun,
it.
right? Whimsical.
I do. I
Yeah.
feel like it was
Yeah.
it was appropriate. The other thing I really liked about this movie was, I mean, it was pretty tight.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
there's
no
not
fat.
a lot of fluff in this movie.
Yeah, there's no fat. It basically moves
Yeah.
from, and you know how I feel about, cutting fluff and fat.
Yeah.
You know, and if it doesn't improve your characters or drive the story forward, or it's not a funny bit that's needed, or what have you. If it slows down the movie to a crawl, and it doesn't make it propel forward, you can excise it if it's this type of movie. You know my rule of thumb for horror movies.
Oh my gosh.
Nice and
man.
tight, 88 minutes, get out.
Dude, I know you remember this, but it's a story worth telling. So Jamie and I watched the movie. I want to say it was Hayride, maybe
Yeah.
Hayride 2.
What's Hayride?
There's a-
Yeah.
There's a scene in this movie where these two people who have never met before in this entire movie are sitting in the lobby of a hospital, have like a 5-minute conversation about absolutely nothing related to the plot line, and then they just go their separate ways, and you're just like, what was the point of
The
this?
character that he's talking to never returns either.
No, I know. Like, never returns. It didn't move the story forward. It was just like, hey, we need 5 more minutes.
Mhm.
You guys just sit down and talk, shoot the shit.
Look, and I understand that. I get it, because sometimes you're like, you film so fast it cuts together and you're short on time. Then other times you write a script and you film it and you realize that it's way longer than you intended it to be. So it's all about making those editorial decisions. But this movie made all the right cuts, I feel like, because it is tight. There's like no flab on it. It just tells the story that it needs to tell, has the character moments it needs to have. You feel for this family, you care about them. It's sweet. Then you get into the action bits and the horror. I say horror with quotes, but you get into like the spooky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, speaking of high and tight, I mean, that's Gremlins, right? Gremlins. That's Critters, right? I mean, that's Critters right there.
Yep.
There's anything else you guys want to talk about with Critters? Any other scenes we missed?
Their bowling outfits are really funny because it's kind of a play on.
It's a Ghostbusters. Yes, it is a
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Yeah. They put a lot of other movies in here, because there's Star Wars merchandise. He mentions Chewie. There's
Yeah.
E.T. On his wall, you see. Well, first of all, you see Bruce Springsteen, poster Bruce Springsteen on the wall, and I think he has a Johnny Lightning or whatever the fuck that guy's name is on the wall as
I
well.
The police was another poster.
Yes, there is a police poster. You're right. Yeah. So yeah, there's a good. His name, by the way, is Johnny Steele, not Johnny Lightning. Johnny Steele is the singer. That's the singer's name. And you put respect on that name because he does sing "Power of the Night." I love how she's watching his music, like his concert as well, on the TV. She's just like watching it, and then she goes,
And We didn't get a payoff of that, did we?
No, we never. He never like Johnny Steele. They never run into Johnny Steele or anything like that. Uh, it's just
Like
it is what it is.
I was so sure that she was gonna like see him and be like, "You're the guy from the music video I was just
Yeah,
watching."
yeah,
Like,
yep,
yep.
nope. But in her defense, she probably didn't remember on account of all the like alien hedgehogs that are trying to kill them.
Yeah. Okay. I really love the scene where she's doing the dishes in the kitchen and she like hears the noise outside and it scares her and she sees like
See
the
the
red
eyes?
eyes come on.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
very
And I
reminiscent of
just love
the
the
best
box.
scene in Amityville. You know,
Hmm.
like one of the few good scenes in Amityville.
I decided to
The
look
only
up
good scene in Amityville.
because I was really impressed with the some of the shots in this movie because like it wasn't unexpected.
Uh-huh.
I mean, critters.
Yeah.
You know, expecting a lot here, but like this director did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah,
He did
yeah,
Mr. Holland's Opus.
yeah. It's Stephen Herek. Yeah,
Yeah, I that's great. I think this was his first project as a director, which is pretty neat.
yeah. And it's shot by Tim Surstead. I don't know what all he's done, but yeah, Stephen Herrick's a solid filmmaker.
Yep.
Oh, dude, this guy's worked since the '80s. The DP.
Hmm.
He lends to such movies as Teen Wolf. He did Mannequin, Mystic Pizza, Remote Control. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, dude,
Um,
I loved Mannequin. That's a
yeah. He also he was the DP for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as well.
yeah.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yep,
Men at
this guy
Work.
directed it. Yeah,
Yep,
this guy directed that one.
yep. Men at Work. Yeah, they work together a
Oh,
lot. He
he
also
did the
shot.
Mighty Ducks.
Yep. He also. Yeah, Stephen Herrick. Yeah.
Yeah.
This DP also shot Office Space.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He also shot just a little movie called Little Miss Sunshine. Idiocracy.
We've referenced that movie a couple times on here.
Yep. You know, he's still working, still working. So yeah, great DP, great shot selection in this movie, and by the director as well, Stephen Herek. So yeah, he also co-wrote the script. Stephen Herek did. So that is Critters, guys. Let's talk about our ratings. Critters. Let's start with you, Lydia. What do you think of Critters? For Christ's sake.
I don't know. This movie was so entertaining, shockingly fun, entertaining movie. I really, I don't have any complaints that I can even think of. Like, I just had a great time. Definitely recommend it. I guess that means I have to give it a high score.
Ish. I mean, it's on a scale. Use whatever you want to give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, that's personally how I always rate things is like based on if I would recommend it to people. And I do feel like I would recommend this to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
I feel like that, like, comparing it, it's hard to compare it to so many of the movies that we've covered. And, like, how I would recommend those to people. I mean, we're only on a scale of 1 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think it's, it's definitely not Gremlins. But
right, yeah.
It's adjacent. It's adjacent to that. Yeah.
It's entertaining as heck, so.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah.
Because I would recommend it to a lot of people, but.
Yeah.
But, maybe some people wouldn't appreciate it as much as I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm with you. Derek.
I'm going to go 7.
What do you think?
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna. There were a lot of things that impressed me about this movie. I thought the choices for the actors was really solid. I thought we've talked about it. The shots are really solid. There's so much humor in this movie that it's kind of unexpected, from everything from the critters to the bounty hunters. I don't know why, but I think these bounty hunters were hilarious. Especially when they go backwards at one point and then they get in the car to leave the church and he turns around to like go backwards again and he goes forward. So, there's just this movie is very entertaining. It's very tight. I would recommend it. I'm going to go a smidge higher than Lydia. I'm going to say it's a 7.5, but this movie is great. I can't wait for Clark to watch it one day.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. When you said Critters, I was thinking of the later sequels, and I was like, Critters. And you know what? I also was kind of getting confused a little bit, probably, with the quality of Ghoulies, which we'll talk about eventually as well. But I went back and, when I rewatched it, I had a hell of a fun time watching it. It's tight, it's fun, it has that great atmosphere that I love. I'm with you. I'm going to give it a 7 too. I had a hell of a time with it. Good little horror movie. Good beginner horror movie for some kids for sure.
Mm-hmm.
See if what they can handle and such. Speaking of this vibe, you know what movie I really love? Also, there's a couple I'm thinking of that have like this kind of vibe besides like Gremlins. The Amblin feel. Like I also like. Do you guys remember Space Invaders?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. When I watched this, it reminded me of it. I don't know if that movie's any good. I haven't seen it in 20 years. But Batteries Not Included. Reminds me a little bit of Batteries Not Included.
Yeah,
Batteries Not Included is even more uplifting, but it's that same kind of vibe. I kind of dig Batteries Not Included.
Oh, man. If you ever seen the movie, it's super cute.
It is. It's a fun little movie.
Yeah. Lydia, have you seen Batteries Not Included?
Yeah, I have when I was younger. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay.
I watched it during the pandemic. It's fun.
I got like a double chin going on over here.
I have a beard so I can hide mine.
I got mine off.
So, guys, it's that time again. It's time to Atkinize Critters. Who would Tom Atkins play?
The dad.
Yeah, I mean, Emmett Walsh is great, but Tom Atkins would be fucking spectacular, too.
Yes.
I would make him Ugg.
Could you imagine Tom Atkins singing Power of the Night?
All you'd have to do is switch that out. He could even play himself. You just switch that out for like a scene from Halloween 2 or not Halloween 2, Halloween 3 or The Fog or any one of those, and he just transforms into
so instead of Johnny Steele, he's Tom Atkins?
Yes.
I kind of love this idea.
This movie.
Instead of like hair metal, he's like yacht rock,
Yeah. I think it would be even
smoother.
I like your idea, Derek, that he's just stumbling upon fucking he's just flipping through and he ends up landing on Halloween or The Fog or something. Or even better, he ends up landing on not Creep Show because he's kind of an asshole in that.
Dude, it would be great if he landed on not Slither, the Creeps.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
Yeah,
and then through this movie he just keeps going.
Thrill me.
That would be so good.
We just cracked the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's what this movie was missing. It would have been a 10.
That would have been a 10 plus.
That would have been an 11.
Yes. Osgo to 11. So, guys, this whole time I've been thinking about what movie we're going to watch next week.
Yes.
And it's been kind of weighing me down because I don't know. I had a couple different ideas, but I was like, well, I almost picked a Wes Craven movie, but we just did a Wes Craven movie. We just did Vampire in Brooklyn. I almost picked a John Carpenter movie. But we just did a John Carpenter movie. Kind of, with Halloween 2. Wasn't a John Carpenter directed movie, but he was involved in it. I didn't want to do another Conjuring yet or another Scream yet. I was trying to think of like an obscure, crazy one. But then it hit me. I know exactly what we're going to do. We should have done it last month, but we're going to do it this month. We're going to extend it. We're going to extend the pride. And we're going to do... I was kind of coerced into it from this guy behind me, but we're going to do a Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Freddy's Revenge.
Oh, snap. Do people still say that?
People still say that, I'm sure.
Okay, cool. My loser.
How long has it been since you guys have watched this one? While?
A while.
Yeah.
Good. I can't wait to see you guys' reactions to it. I watched it not too long ago, and we'll get into it next week.
Wow.
Rock! Pumpkinhead! We'll have to do Pumpkinhead 2 eventually, but it's terrible. It's not the best. So, next week, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which is actually on HBO Max. I know that because I saw it on there last night. It's probably on Amazon as well. It actually might also be on Peacock. But check that out for next week. Check out the movie. It's up. Comment, like, share, subscribe to this episode and also the movie. Share the movie far and wide so that way we get interest in the next one, which we are currently working on. In the next couple of weeks, we will be meeting us three, not with you, and starting pre-production on the movie in earnest. Because Derek has the perfect home base now. And then in the next couple of weeks, we will also be releasing the Secret Admirer commentary / behind the scenes bit featuring us and maybe somebody else, who knows. But thanks for tuning in. Anything else, guys? Anything else I missed? You can follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook at HiLa Productions. Follow us on Instagram at Screen Bloody Movies. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Racket. Follow Lydia at Lydia Spooky. Follow Derek at DDogLeeMaster. You can go to the website, HiLaProductions.com, and you can see show notes. You can see the links to the films, which are now all on YouTube. And you can also see our merch, which is available, such as T-shirts featuring the Screen Bloody Movies logo, new Screen Bloody Movies T-shirts, and a shirt featuring the poster behind me, all designed by our great Lydia Judy. Anything else that I'm missing, guys? Nope.
I don't think so.
Nice. This is a nice, tight episode in honor of Critters being a nice, tight movie. So,
Good choice, Derek. Good choice.
Great choice. This is one of your better ones. I'm dreading the day that we're gonna have to watch,
Rawhead Rex.
yeah, some bullshit like that. But next week, Freddy's Revenge. He returns. Look at him. He's happy. Look how happy Freddy looks right now. He's so happy about doing this movie. We will see you all next week. And remember, for Derek Lemaster and Lydia Judy, I am Jamie Hiles. And if you're going to scream Bloody Movies. Good night, guys.